Hello everyone, it is Mrs. P. Happy Tuesday. I hope you survived Monday. It was a pretty good day at school. Not much in the way of like interesting things happened. The kids are kind of settling back down after whatever moon came out. Was it last week? I don't know. Super moon. It got them all crazy. But we're all back to normal now. I have got my placemat back and my candle. Somebody said that they had missed my cozy setup. I know this is not as cozy as it used to be. I got lazy, honestly, because it takes work to clean the desk off and get everything arranged and that sort of thing for a video. But I thought, you know what, I can do that. It lit a candle, put a placemat down. That's about as good as it's gonna get right now because we are just in a busy season of life. I say that as like all the time. It doesn't matter if we're home for summer break or whatever, we're still always busy for some reason. This past weekend, I'd done all my videos like early, like before the weekend, because I knew I was going to have a busy weekend, and boy did I. We are decluttering. Why did I choose to do this a week before Thanksgiving? I don't know. I don't know. I had enough. You know, you have to kind of get in that fed up with it mood to really just go at it with the garbage bags. And that's what we did all weekend. Had a lot of donations that we sent to a few different like thrift stores that like raise money for like the animal shelter and the women's shelter and things like that. So donated a lot of clothes and shoes and purses and kitchen supplies, just whatever, you know, we felt was still good. Lots of stuff still with tags, lots of stuff in boxes that we had gotten for like gifts, you know, like those white elephant gifts or whatever, and you just never use. So we sent that on its merry way. I was able to fill a good chunk of the care closet at school with some really nice hoodies and things like that for kids. So felt good about it. Threw a lot away. Why do we hold on? Like when I buy a pair of tennis shoes, which I don't do it very often, but when I do, it's because my other ones are completely put out, like completely done. Why do I not throw them away? Why do I hold on to them? I used to say it's because I'm going to use them as my paint shoes, you know, but how many pairs of paint shoes do you need? I got rid of sheets. I got rid of towels. Like, you know, when a towel gets wore out, we throw it in the laundry closet as, you know, that's going to be our like rag towel or whatever, dog towel. How many of those do you possibly need? Like we had 2 shelves full of towels that were not good enough, you know, that were wore out. So we didn't use them for like everyday use, but we used them to clean up spills and things like that. Wash the dog. We don't need that many of those towels because as soon as you use it, you wash it and you can reuse it. So anyway, we purged so much. I cleaned out the entire, we have like a extra closet of food storage. I am a recovering food hoarder. 2020 didn't help matters, but I am recovering. I do not feel the need to buy, you know, 10 jars of spaghetti sauce when I buy spaghetti sauce. I can just buy the one that I need. And so we are slowly like, well, we've gone through a lot of the food that we had, obviously, because it would have expired by now. But like, instead of replacing it, I'm just getting rid of it. So we are downsizing. I was able to clean out an entire shelf of food. And that's like those metal shelves, you know, like you would put in your basement or whatever, of food. And then downsized it to just a few shelves in the pantry, in the, we've got like a closet in the laundry room that's got pantry shelves. And so it felt good. So I know what I've got. I know what I need to use. So going forward, when I do my meal plans, like I know what I have. So I need to go through it, get rid of it. So I'm going to shop my pantry as much as I can. We are downsizing in our freezer. We are working through that meat. I did purchase some ground beef that was on sale for $5 a pound. And my goodness, it's been like over $8 a pound. So I went ahead and grabbed about 7 or 8 pounds of that. So we're good on ground beef right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and do what we are here to do. I'm sorry, it's already 5 minutes in and I'm still rambling. Our budget. We've got to check in, and then we've got to do the budget for the last week of November. I am just astounded. My son called me today. He is coming in. He and his fiance are coming in to visit for Thanksgiving. And he said, Mom. Well, he calls me Mom. It's gone from mommy to mom, mama, mom, bruh, and now I'm to ma. But Ma, Thanksgiving's next week, he says. And I said, I know. I thought we had an extra week, and it just kind of snuck up on us, didn't it? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is my check-in. So rollover was 1132.98. I was not sure if my pen was going to work. Mr. P's income came in way above. Well, not way above, but compared to last week's, which was way under, 1,115.96. Nothing for other. And so our income was 2248.94. All right, so then we have our bills. We've got Google that came out, Netflix came out $19.25, and Spotify $18.18. And so bills and expenses was $40.42 this week, leaving us with $2208.52. And then for our sinking funds and savings, we took out exactly what we planned. So that was $755, leaving us with $1453.52. All right. Variable expenses. Cleaning and purging really helps you out with your budget because you're not spending any money. So groceries, we took out the $150. Everything stayed the same. So I'll just go down through here and put the numbers here because, I just repeat these numbers week to week. So that was $380, and that leaves us with $1,073.52. We didn't pay anything we didn't have any debt payments this week and didn't pay any extra towards debt. So our buffer for this next week is $1,073.52. And there's our zero-based budget. Okay. So then we are going to flip back here to our variable categories that we are checking in with. Come on. So, for groceries, and this was on, what did I say? The 13th. I got groceries at Ingles, and that was $109. Walmart for pet stuff. No. Oh, I shook the thing. Pets was, I hit a bump, was Chewy. I did a Chewy order. I wanted to get fetch points, and I know that's silly, but I went ahead and stocked up on some things that we needed. I got some of the hip and joint pills that our dog takes each night with her food, and I got some Purr Pops for Kiki and some treats and things like that. So I spent $53 at Chewy. Then for household, I ordered a Sam's order. It was, I actually ordered 3 things. So I had needed coffee, the K-Cups, I needed paper plates, and I needed garbage bags because we went through so many garbage bags when we were decluttering. So I did an order. With the food, the coffee, I took from the Sam's envelope, but for the paper plates and the garbage bags, I'm using our household money. So for Sam's, that was $42. Eating out, we did eat out. Well, my husband picked up on the 14th. That was ball game night. pizza for him and my daughter. I actually did not even go to the ball game Friday night. My eyes, I came home from work and they were so red and irritated and like almost even swollen that I had to treat them. I put heat on them and I just crawled in the bed. My husband took my daughter to her game. My parents went, so she had plenty of people cheering her on. But he got pizza that night for her and him. And then on 16th, that was Sunday night, when we took all of the donations and dropped them off at the different places, we went through McDonald's and got fries and a shake, and that was $7. Okay, and then gas down here, on, I think it was the 13th, I got gas for $40. And nothing for unbudgeted. Okay, so there we are, doing pretty good so far. This category, unbudgeted, has been very good to us. All right, so now I'm going to move back. We have to do our budget for the last week of November. I am just blown away. It's going to be Christmas before you know it. Cannot wait. I love the seasons, the holidays, like just this time of year. I don't know. It's just something magical about it. All right, so let's get here. We have the last week. Our month is going to go November 20th through the 26th. I'm going to end it on the 26th. I don't know if you guys can see or not. On the 26th, and then we will start December's budget for the 27th. So we've got rollover, Mr. P, and then other. All right, so rollover, we already saw that was $10.73. Mr. P, $1,000, and then other, we are expecting $550. So our total income is $26.23. Going down to bills, this is a heavy bill month, or heavy bill week. We've got our power and our internet, and that is $295 this month. Hulu is $22. Has anybody heard if there's going to be any like Black Friday specials for Hulu or any of the other streaming apps? Because I would like to get maybe some kind of a deal, because I know that that's a good time to subscribe. YouTube TV, which I split with my middle son, is $44. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't even watch this, and I'm just paying for it. Well, my husband does. My husband watches it. I couldn't say no, you know. I do watch Georgia ball games on YouTube TV. I have to say I do watch it on Saturdays. Whew, I got winded. All right, so then we've got Verizon. And our portion, after everybody pays their bill, is $206. Farm Bureau is $172. YouTube Premium, yes. I wish these two could go together, but I actually don't even have them on the same account. The YouTube Premium I pay for through I do it through this account that I use, Budget with Mrs. P. And the YouTube TV is my personal account. All right, Apple Storage is $10. And Mr. P Hobby is $49. All right, so those are our bills for the last week of the month, and that's $823. And that leaves us with exactly $1,800. All right, moving down, we've got our sinking funds and our savings. And it's identical to last week, where sinking funds was $385 and savings was $370. I will have to adjust some of these numbers and start working back towards debt next month. I just kind of took a little bit of a break. The medical stuff has been just like, it's just all overwhelming to me. $13.35. I never realized how expensive it was to be like diabetic or like have like something medically, you know, I have taken for granted us being, you know, fairly healthy, and not having to deal with, you know, chronic things. And it's been a huge wake-up call for me. And I feel for families that, you know, have children who are diabetic, because I'm just in the 8th grade alone, we've got about 120 students. And out of those, we've got 3 type 1 diabetics. Just, I didn't know it was that common. I mean, I know 3 out of 120 doesn't seem like a lot, but to me that seems like a lot, where they've got like the insulin pumps and everything. Like, you know, they have to constantly go and get their numbers checked. All right. So then our variable expenses, we've got groceries, just the same stuff, pets, household. It just hasn't changed that much. But I tell you guys, once you figure out what works for you and your budget, it does really make a difference, where you know, okay, all this every week is going to have what we have to have for our variable expenses. Now, granted, the only ones really that we would keep if, like, you know, the, how do you say it? THTF. The poop hits the fan. If the poop hits the fan, I was trying not to say a bad word. If the poop hits the fan, we would cut out a lot of our budget. Obviously we'd have to get groceries, but we would significantly cut the grocery budget. We wouldn't be buying sodas and chips and junk and stuff like that. Household, we would have to keep it, but not quite what we have. I might have to go down to a cheaper toilet paper, or, you know, something like that. Pets, we've got to take care of. Our blow money, it would go. Eating out would go. We'd have to keep gas, but I would definitely conserve more gas. And I could conserve more gas as it is. A lot of times I will go home from work and then go back to town and pick up my daughter from practice, because, you know, waiting in town for 3 hours is 2.5 hours really. It's not fun for me when I know there's a lot of things I could get done at home. But if the budget didn't allow that, I could cut that. I could just stay at school. So anyway, those are things that, you know, we've done it before. We've had to cut corners down to really a bare bones 4 walls budget. I remember a time where, you know, my husband, he was self-employed, and it was really hard for us just to, you know, keep the power on. All right, so our variable expenses is $380, and that leaves us $665. We do have 2 debts. We've got the trailer payment, which is at Tractor Supply, and then that's $159, and my student loan is $498. And that adds up to be $657, and that is $8 remaining. I am not even, unless, okay, I'm just going to leave the $8 sitting there. I'm not going to put it to debt. I'm just going to let it sit as a buffer. But what I am going to do is, if the income comes in higher and we have other things that come in, I'll put all of that towards debt. And then we'll go to the zero-based budget, because that's our goal, is to pay off the debt. And we've kind of been putting heavy amounts in this area and not so much in the debt this month, because we were very heavy in the debt in October, and I just kind of had to do like a break from it. But our goal is still paying off debt, so we need to get refocused back on that. Yeah. And my husband is starting to get calls for doing karaoke. He has all the equipment to do that, and he's kind of put it off just because of usually karaoke is like the bar scene, and it's like late at night, and just he prefers not to do that, but he also knows that he has to pay for his hobbies. So anyway, so maybe some extra stuff will come in that way. But anyway, friends, that is all for the budget. No. It's all. But I did want to do one little thing that I haven't done in a while. And this is just me doing my meal plan on our grocery list that hangs on the refrigerator. But I just thought I would share with you guys what we're eating this week. So I'm filming this on Monday evening. So tonight we had French onion meatballs. They were delicious. Mama Mail, I got the recipe off of her channel. I love her. She says, welcome home. Every time in her channel, I just love her. But it was just the frozen meatballs, a French onion soup mix, a can of French onion soup, and it called for 2 cups of beef broth, but I just did 1 cup of beef broth and 1 cup of water because I thought this is a lot of salt. But it was so good. Put it over some rice and had some green beans with it. It was delicious. I have enough left over that I can have lunch the rest of the week. Tomorrow night we're having chicken wings. We've already got the chicken. Wednesday, when I was doing all of my pantry and all the clean out, I was also kind of doing an inventory of the freezer, and I have leftover chili from probably February-ish. I don't know. It was in a Pyrex dish, and I took it out, and I've got it in the fridge thawing. So Wednesday, we're just going to have some chili. I'm going to make some cornbread. So nothing to do there except for make the cornbread. Thursday, I'm going to do burgers and french fries. We have plenty of potatoes for the fries. And burgers, I just bought the hamburger meat, so we will use that. Friday, pizza and salad. I have 2 of the pre-made pizza crusts, just the Great Value brand, and I've got sauce, I've got cheese, and I've got pepperoni, so we'll make that, and I've got some salad mix in the fridge. I also have a small roast in the freezer that needs to be used, so I'm going to thaw that out on Saturday and cook it up with some potatoes and carrots. I will have to buy the carrots, but everything else I have. My husband will not eat this, so he will have the leftover pizza. And then Sunday, we have 2 steaks in the freezer. My daughter and I always share a steak, and then my husband has his own. So steaks and baked potatoes, because I have got to get through all of those potatoes before they go bad. So, and I'll probably do, I have some okra in the freezer. I could do that. I have Brussels sprouts, so some kind of veggie with that. But that is what we're eating. The only thing I will need to buy, and technically I don't even need it. I could make a roast without the carrots, because really I'm the only one that eats the carrots. My daughter, she would pick around those. So probably won't even do carrots. I'll probably just do roast with potatoes and then a green vegetable. So anyway, friends, that is the meal plan for the week. And I will eventually get back to that. I just, I feel like once my house is decluttered, I will have more energy, because I won't be exhausted just walking in and seeing the mess. It's not really even mess. It's just we are a come home, drop, and go family. And it just, after a while, all that junk just piles up, and you just got to deal with it. All right, friends, thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.